Okay, so this is the first time I've ever. Okay, woo! Alright, this is the first time I've ever gone live um, on here. So I'm like figuring all this out. Woo! Okay, so hope everyone's doing well. So I came on here because the Lord wants me to talk about, gift of discernment spirits, but also He wants me to. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I sometimes I do, prophetic words on Instagram, and I just recently did one, and right now the Lord actually wants me to kind of follow up on that, but do it here instead. And if I'm able to upload it here, then I'll do that. But basically, that prophetic word was about the Lord was promoting the people who felt like they were in season, like a Job-like or Joseph-like season. He was promoting them. And one of the things he really wanted to really press into was the career aspect. There are a lot of us who have, had issues with employment or, getting a job, keeping a job. You spent more time filling out applications instead of actually working the job that you applied for. And when you did work, you did everything you were supposed to do. However, there was always something that happened that was out of your control. And you're like, I don't even know how that happened. Did everything I was supposed to do. Did everything I should have done. But you ended up getting let go for whatever reason. One, the Lord wants to say that none of that was in vain. He also wants to say that you being in those positions was preparing you to be your own boss. And He was preparing you to be an entrepreneur. And He's had you in those multiple places for you to learn specific skills within those places, so you can use that for your own business that He's called you to build. And so there's that. And the biggest thing He's been really showing me is that everything that we've been attacked in, everything that we have everything that we've lacked or been attacked within the season was meant to prepare us for what He has for us in the latter. It was meant to actually not only for us to be blessed in those things, but also for us to be able to bless others. So if you went through a season of lack in terms of your finances, the Lord allowed that so you can become financially literate and also become a benefactor in the kingdom, so you can in turn bless other people, and you can in turn help other people become financially literate as well, so they can make money work for them instead of them having to work and haul for money and make little to nothing. Another thing is, if you are someone who maybe had a lot of attacks in terms of your license, your driving record, or your car, then the Lord has shown me that was really the enemy attacking you in terms of ministry, because you are someone who's meant to travel, and you are someone who, I know I can speak my personal experience, that the Lord is wanting to send me to other places specifically because He's called me to into spiritual warfare, specifically when it comes to tearing down principalities regionally. And there have been times where I have been heavily attacked in terms of my license, where I've ended up getting tons and tons of tickets, where there was like a year where I was literally paying off tickets. And the Lord was showing me that it was because, even though it's something in the natural, if the Lord is calling me to tear down principalities in a specific region, and I have these unpaid debts, it will actually hurt me and hinder me in the natural, and that gives a way for the principalities to attack me. And so it's stuff like that. Like, the Lord is, for those who have been in seasons of Job-like or Joseph-like seasons, he is promoting you, and he is bringing you into the land of promise, and the places where you have lacked, the places where you have been without, where you have been attacked. The Lord is going to replenish those things and cause you to overflow, so then you can help others who've gone through the same thing that you've gone through. But specifically going back with business and careers and entrepreneurship, he's called us to, be our own boss, and not only to work for ourselves and to be our own bosses, but also to create and generate wealth for others as well, to give jobs to other people so they can have work as well. Like, everything that the Lord desires to bless you with, it's always going to be unto building his kingdom and unto pulling others out of their stuff, just as the Lord's pulled you out, because that's what we were created for. We're created those things. So yeah. But I did go more in depth on my Instagram account, but this is just something that the Lord really wanted me to tackle here first, and then go into talking about what the title of this is, which is the gift of discernment of spirit. So this is a gift that is not really talked about in the church. It's not really delved into in the church. And because it's not a really glamorous gift, it is something that it can take time to really understand, and how to navigate and how to really work with. And this is obviously a gift that I have, and I've been saved. I think it's been 14 years. Yeah, 14 years, double completion. Yay. I got saved at the end of 2010, and it wasn't until about, I think, 2012 when I started to notice certain things. And I remember I was in a worship service, and I felt like I wanted to cry. And I knew that I did need to cry. I knew I didn't want to cry, but I just had that feeling in my gut. And then all of a sudden, there was this older lady who I was connected to, and she walked past me, and she was like bawling her eyes out. And as soon as she walked past me, that sensation to cry left me. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And in this ministry also, I was always in the back, because I was always worshiping, because I need, like, the wingspan. It was like, I need to move, I need to dance around, I'm not going to sit behind a seat. I need to have room, okay? And I always had this thought come in the back of my mind, like, this question: am I looking to be seen? Am I looking to be noticed? And it was very distracting to my worship. But I just kept on worshiping through it. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't know what this is. And at the time, I was having meetings with the then youth pastor, and like periodic meetings. And I remember one of the meetings, he asked me, are you looking to be seen? Are you looking to be noticed? And immediately I was like, I don't think so. I don't know. Because again, that question came to my mind, so I didn't know like what it was. And I was like, is this me? And actually going back, realizing that that was a question that he had, because he was also in the back. And he was always texting. He was always on his phone. And he was always focused on what I was doing, while I'm just mind my own business and seeking the Lord, all this. And in that, like, the Lord began to really tutor me and help me understand what this gift is, the gift of discernment of spirits. And a lot of us actually do have that, and we don't really know or understand how to walk with it, how to navigate with it. And for what the Lord has shown me, it is, obviously it works with the prophetic, but basically what the world would define as an empath, but it's more than that. And with that, you're basically very sensitive. You're able to pick up and sense a lot of different feelings and emotions that people are carrying, certain things that they are partnered with. I'm able to, I guess, walk into a room and I can discern exactly what's going on, exactly what spirit is in operation, exactly what certain people are carrying. And I can also even discern, I guess, people's inner monologues, if you will. And again, it's not just to be in their business or be anything. It's a tool to help to intercede and to pray for these people, to pray for their freedom. And specifically for me, it's always been people who are currently walking in whatever I was delivered out of. And for years, it's been very difficult to navigate or understand because, again, it's not talked about in the church. It's not really taught. And I remember like being in different meetings and people prophesying over me and telling me that I have this gift. And I'm like, okay, it's great. Thanks. But how do I use this? How do I use this and not be overwhelmed and overcome by it? Because it is so intense and overwhelming, feeling someone else's feelings and emotions, or discerning the things that they're partnered with, whatever spirits that they're partnered with, and if you're not careful, you can end up partnering with whatever they're carrying, and then you end up falling back into sin. You end up backsliding, and which has happened to me throughout the years of trying to learn and navigate through this. But it's been literally the past couple of years, the Lord just continually reminding me that this isn't me, that there is nothing wrong, that it's literally me put in a position to pray and intercede for someone else's freedom, so they can walk in freedom and they can be delivered from the very things that I was delivered from, that He's delivered me from. And also just remembering the word that He says, like, I am a new creation. The old is gone and new has come. I'm being reminded of a men's meeting that I was at around this time last year. And there was someone who was there, and he asked for prayer because he just felt he was being attacked. He felt very overwhelmed and all this stuff. And, you know, I'm just listening to him and I'm asking the Lord, what do you want to say? Like, what do you want to say? Because obviously you want me to say, I know you want me to say something. And the Lord basically had me tell him, you know, yeah, you may need help, you need prayer, you need, you know, healing or deliverance to be set free from these things, but ultimately you are prophetic, you are a prophet, and you are meant to be in these places because of who the Lord's called you to be. You have been set free. You have been set free. Now you just need to walk in that freedom and to remember that you are free and that you are now in a position to pray and intercede for other people's freedom, to be the barometer in the sanctuary and not the thermometer. You are meant to set the tone of the atmosphere in this place. That is your position. That is who you are. And as I'm telling this to this person, have someone else, I guess he was a leader, who's literally judging me the entire time in the spirit. I'm like, dude, I can hear you. I can literally hear you. Of course, I didn't say anything because I didn't know him and I haven't seen him in person since. But yeah, I knew that's what the Lord wanted to say to him. I knew that's what he needed, and we prayed over him. And then afterwards, he began to treat me weird every time I saw him after that. I'm like, okay, you can continue to walk in bondage. That's not my problem. I told you the truth. I told you it's not my fault that you don't want to walk in freedom, but you know, you can't help everyone. So yeah, I mean, this is a gift that a lot of people have, a lot of people walk with, but they just don't know how to navigate through it. They don't know how to process it. They become very easily overwhelmed, and people end up in cycles and cycles of sin and trying to get free from things that they've already been set free from, because they just don't understand that they have been set free the moment they said yes to Jesus. And anyway, sorry, I'm like getting distracted because people are popping up. Sorry, I'm new to lives, so I'm trying to not be distracted by people popping up and popping in. So, but yeah, so, but yeah, it's just remembering, first, remember what the word says, is that, you know, we are a new creation, the old is gone and the new has come. And also, I mean, and just remembering again what the Lord paid for. And remembering that, you know, again, you are a new creation and that you have been set free. And yes, there's still inner healing, there's still deliverance. But all in all, once you go through those 2 sessions, like, you are set free. And yes, you're still, I am wholly blameless and above reproach. That is the answer to your question. And so that's another topic. That's another video entirely. Actually, I already made that video. It's on my YouTube channel. But yeah. But yeah, it's been a long time coming, and past 2 years, especially, like, the Lord's really been training me and understanding how to navigate through this because of the things that He's called me to and the people He desires me to interact with. You know, I need to be in a place where I understand that I am set free, that the word says that I am set free, and that there are people around me who just need prayer and intercession, who need to walk in freedom and who desire to walk in freedom, and who the Lord wants to walk in freedom, because He wants all of us to be set free. He wants all of us to walk in the power and the freedom and the fullness that He truly has for us. He doesn't want us walking in bondage. He doesn't want us walking in habitual sin. He doesn't want us to not understand our identities and who He's called us to be and the gifts that He's given us, and to allow the gifts that He's given us to work against us because we don't understand how to properly use them. Yeah, and also with this gift, you know, the Lord has also been showing me that a lot of creatives walk with this gift. A lot of creatives walk with this gift of discernment of spirits. And it's important, it's imperative that we learn how to navigate and how to walk with it and how to allow it to work for us and not against us, and not to be overcome and overwhelmed by everything that we see and we feel. There are times where I'd just be tired. I'm like, Lord, it is too noisy. I feel and hear everything. And there have been times where I end up backsliding because I allow myself to be overtaken by what I'm discerning when I need to pray and intercede for someone else, because that is what's happening. And then I end up asking, Lord, what is this? Like, He's telling me this is this person and they need freedom in this. This is what they're going through, and this is what they're feeling. This is where their heart is, and pray. Just pray for them, intercede for them. I'm reminded of another instance, and this happened last year, where I was at a ministry and I was walking through the sanctuary, and I remember there was this kid who was visiting. He's like in his early mid-20s, and the Lord told him to come and talk to me, and so he and I connected. And then every time I saw him afterwards, I felt this, like, draw to him, that this really weird, like, sexual draw to this kid. I'm like, this is weird. I know for a fact this isn't me. This is not me. Lord, what is going on? Why do I feel this way about this kid? And the Lord was telling me that there was a specific person at that ministry who, hold on a second. And, sorry, there was a person at that ministry who was lusting after them. Another guy who was his age, who was lusting after him, and I was actually discerning that soul tie that other person had created. And And I was like, oh gosh, that's weird. And when I recalled when I first met him, when I first walked in Sanctuary, that person who created that soul tie, that person was praying over this kid who was visiting. So I'm like, this is weird. But again, this happens, and thankfully I was able to be in that space to understand that and to allow the Lord to reveal that to me so I can pray for that kid and break off that soul tie and all that off of him and all of that. But you know, that this is what the gift is. It's not a glamorous gift. It's not, you know, prophecy. It's not, you know, being a part of the prayer team and praying and over people and casting out demons and healing the sick. It's not something that is going to give you notoriety. Like, this is definitely something that it takes a lot. It can take a lot, and it can take a lot out of you. But if you just allow yourself to rest and really rest in the Lord and rest in His truth and what He says about you and what His word says, and you allow Him to tell you, these are the gifts that you have. This is what I've created you for. This is how you're meant to serve the body. Then you can't really go wrong. And I just wish that someone really sat down with me and really told me, hey, this is what this gift is, and this is how you're meant to operate in it, and this is what it's going to feel like. You're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like you're struggling. You're going to feel like you're constantly battling something within you, but it's not you. It's you just have a gift, and that you are meant to pray and intercede for other people's freedom. Like, you are set free to set other people free. You've been delivered so you can deliver others, and you are in that space to pray and intercede for other people and their freedom so they can see the Lord rightly the way you have seen the Lord rightly. So, yeah. So I think that's about it. Thank you for all who popped in. Again, I'm not answering that question because that's kind of weird. Really, because that's not who I am. And yeah, and if I will see about trying to save this or reposting this, and yeah, and if you made it this far, if you desire to donate to my ministry, I put the handles, my Venmo, my Cashapp, and my About Me. It's the same handle as it is on here, and you see my picture. The picture is the same up there. But yeah, thank you and God bless. Bye, guys.